Okay, so welcome back. Today we're going to look at Learning-Based Activity 1.3 with my fabulous Year 9 class. And we're going to look at how to make magic squares that are an odd-by-odd magic square. So, for example, 3 by 3 or 5 by 5 or 7 by 7. And we'll start with the 3 by 3 magic square. Okay, so the rule for magic squares is this. There's the rule. What we're going to do is, with our consecutive integers, we're going to start in the top center square, which is this one right here. And the rule is we're always going to move diagonally up and to the right, but if there's a number blocking it, we put it down instead. Now, here's the part we have to imagine. Imagine there are an infinite number of 3 by 3 squares around this pink one. So there's one that goes up here, and this one that goes up here, and this way, forever. But the only place we're going to put our numbers is in this pink one. So let's put number 1 in the top center, and follow the rule. So the next number I put, which is just going to be in this pink square, is going to move diagonally. Now you have to imagine, here's your magic square up here. Where would that 2 go? That 2 would go in the bottom right. So the bottom right of this square is right there. Now again, I'm going to move diagonal. And if there were another magic square right here, that 3 would be in the middle left square, which on our magic square is right here. Here's where this rule kicks in. I can't put 4 there because the one's blocking it, so I put it below instead. So 4 goes here. Always move diagonal to the right. 5 goes here. Diagonal to the right. 6 goes here. And if there was a magic square right here, that 7 would go in the bottom left corner, but the 4 is blocking it. So I move it below instead. Up and to the right. Where would 8 be in our magic square here? It would be in the top left. And finally, with 3 by 3 magic squares, or 5 by 5 magic squares, or 7 by 7, whatever, the last number always goes in the bottom middle. So, first up, always starts in top center, always finishes in bottom center. Now let's find out the sum. Each row, column, and diagonal add to 15 for this magic square. 4 plus 9 plus 2, 4 plus 5 plus 6, 8 plus 1 plus 6, all gives me a sum to 15. Now what we'll do is we'll see what the sum is if we start with a different number. So over here, suppose we start with 5 instead of 1. So right now, we'll complete that using this same method here and see what we get. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so if you did it correctly, it should look like this, where each row, column, and diagonal sum to, I think we should get 27. Now here, pause a moment to look, see if you can find relationships between the numbers I have here and their sum. And especially, if you notice, the pattern between the sum and the numbers is the sum is always going to be the middle number times 3. And why it's times 3? Because we have a 3 by 3 square. It will not be times 3 for a 5 by 5. So let's just write that down. The sum equals So the sum of magic squares is the middle number times how many rows I have. Now let's take to the next step and do a 5 by 5, which is the next odd by odd magic square. So in our books, let's rule up a 5 by 5, which should have how many little squares? 25. Go ahead and do that now. 5 by 5 magic square. Same rules apply. Start in the top center, move diagonally to the right if you can. If a number is blocking it, move down instead. So I'm going to start at 1, and I'm going to finish at 25. What's my middle number going to be? And what will the sum be? Because we know there's a pattern. So let's take some time to do that right now. 1 starts here. Up and to the right. Where would the 2 be on the magic square above that? Right here. Up and to the right. 3. Up and to the right. 4. Up and to the right. 5. The 1 is blocking it, so I move below. Diagonal. Diagonal. Now the 9, if there was a magic square above this one, it would be in the bottom right corner. Right here. So continue on your own and see how you do.
Five.
There's going to be, like we said, middle number times the number of rows. 13 times 5. Everything here adds up to 65. Alright, great. Now, we know how to make odd by odd magic squares. And the question is, what's the biggest one you can make? Well, that depends on how small of numbers you can cram into the squares. Alright, so next up is going to be to learn even by even magic squares, such as starting with a 4 by 4. But that's on the next video. Okay, see you later.